we live in a world where corruption is so common until it's almost normal, and it's easy to fall into that rut of thinking it's okay because somebody else is doing it. But we have to take a stand against that and always do what's right because the standard of righteousness has not changed. God is still requiring holiness, and there is no title or position, be it secular or religious, that is above that. God is requiring us all to do the right thing. And when we understand that, we will be able to continue to represent God in a world that's full of sin. And I am so glad to be here for the Sanctuary Sunday School and the Sanctuary Academy. We are on our way. I'd like for you to make sure that you are in the Google Classroom. You can find it at the website, www.thesanctuary.academy. And also go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed and tap the bell so that we can continue to do great things for the Lord. And again, I appreciate you so much. This week's subject is an argument against corruption. And it's a really good lesson because, and it's very, again, another timely lesson because we're talking about Micah. This is the prophet Micah, who was another one of the minor prophets. Now, we've been talking about Habakkuk the last couple of weeks, but Micah is a little bit different because he's talking about corruption, but the corruption that Micah is referring to is coming from the leaders of Israel and Judah. Both of them, they had wicked leaders at this time. And the Bible in the New Testament actually picks it up and speaks of spiritual wickedness in high places. And that's something that we see, and we cannot be deterred by that. There's just evil things, evil leaders. And we don't want the existence of evil leaders to take away from the good leaders who are sent by God and who do care for the people, your prophets of God, like Micah and also like Habakkuk, who we were talking about. And we talked about corruption, and it said they hate good, right? And they love evil. And they were just abusive and using their powers to hurt people. And wow, Micah uses some very strong metaphors, man, about what they were doing to people to just really show how, graphically show how abusive that they were. And we do not ever want to be in that position. I've always been in a position of leadership ever since I was about 16. I don't know why, but I've always been in a position to tell people what to do or make decisions concerning other people. That is a gift from God that we should always be mindful of and be very careful. I look at it this way: every human being is God's own designer original. So who am I to mistreat or talk down to or to abuse anyone that God saw fit to create? And if you're in a situation where you're under a corrupt leader, you don't have to do that. God's humility is not requiring that of you because you're valuable and God loves you. And that's why Micah is making this argument against corruption because it's not right. It's not ever acceptable. I don't care at what level you're seeing the corruption. I don't care how high up it may go. God is not in that. God is true and God is real. And then Michael went on to talk about, so what is God's requirement? What does he want from us? Is it offerings? Is it sacrifices? Is it my talent, my gift? What is it that God is requiring us? And the requirement is so simple. It is to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly. That is one of my favorite, all time favorite verses in the Bible. It says to do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly. Do justly. Treat people right. Tell the truth. Do the right thing. And I say this all the time. It's so simple. Everything that's simple may not be easy, but it's so simple. You know what? It's not hard to treat people right. Just do the right thing. Love mercy. Mercy, when you consider the fact that God had mercy on us. I say this all the time, the wages of sin is death. He saw fit to allow his son Jesus to pay that wage of death. He had mercy on us where I didn't have to die for my sin. You didn't have to die for your sin. Jesus did that for us. So we should love mercy. And we love the mercy that God showed toward us, but we also have to love the mercy that we can show toward others. There are going to be people that are going to cross your paths who don't have the capacity to love or do right, and they don't know. And the only love that they're really going to see is the love that you show them through Christ. That's why we've got to love mercy, because our goal is not to get you back for what you did to me and how you hurt me and whatever what you took from me. It's not our goal. Our goal is to redeem people back to Christ, to show them the love of God and let them know, God loves you and He will provide for you and He'll take care of you and He'll accept you back into the fold. Walk humbly, not to think that we are so much. It is nothing but by the grace. These words go together. Just, mercy, humility. I love it. Justice, mercy, humility. That's a 3-word recipe for what God is requiring of us. It's a 3-word recipe for an argument against corruption. These words are more powerful and they're stronger than corruption, and they always win. Walk humbly. Think about other people. And there's a word I learned a long time ago, empathy. Empathize. And learning empathy has helped me through very painful and even unjust situations, because if you can just imagine, if you can just find it in your heart to put yourself in the position of the other person, try to understand what they were going through, what they were thinking, the decisions that I made. It is not justified. I'm not saying you justify or condone wrongdoing. That's not what I'm saying. But if we can be a little bit bigger and not make it about me and how you made me feel and what you did to me, and think about, I want to restore your soul. Your soul. That's what David said in the 23rd Psalms. He restoreth my soul. And inasmuch that He restored my soul, I want to do that for other people. I want to love mercy and show that mercy. Those are the only 3 things that God is requirement. And that is our argument against corruption. So when you see corruption in high places, and here we see Micah talking about these leaders that were corrupt. When you see that, we never want to fall into the category of people who says, well, they ain't right, so I ain't right neither. I ain't gonna be right neither. They can't tell me nothing, so I can do whatever I want to do. No, no, no. Right is right, wrong is wrong. It does not change. And just because you have leaders who may not be doing the right thing and they may be corrupt, that does not give you the authority to disobey the laws of God, because God's will did not change. Jesus was righteous. God was righteous. God is holy, and He is requiring that we be holy as well. And that is a winning argument against corruption.